Welcome to Designer Studio's tabletop virtual event. Today, we decided to create something really unique. Daniel Bond and I thought of using shape, form, and function. So here we have a table inspired by Scandinavian design, unique designers, and unique form and function. If you'll take a look at this table closely, the Garnier-Thiebaut cloth is a classic design, but with the blues and the metallics running through it, it creates something unique and useful in the design world. We took our inspiration from the centerpiece, where it has this form and function of circles upon layers, upon free form and floating. If you'll take a look at the plating, concentric circles on top of each other. Beautiful flatware, soft in its nature, but still creating that circle in design. Beautiful glassware from Nude Glass. Beautiful table accessories from Georg Jensen. You have a global experience here from all different parts of the world. It's unique in its form and its function. Daniel Bond, why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
I will, Jerry. Thank you. The first thing that I wanted to say about the accessories that you chose is I love the satin finish on the flatware with the shiny finish on your candlesticks and accessories. I think it brings a whole dimension and element to the table that you may not notice right away, but just as a general viewpoint on it, it gives the table a whole interesting feel of its own where everything isn't exactly the same. And by using materials that are not always so matchy and everything being one finish, then you create a textural element, because texture basically is nothing more than the surface of any item. So whether it could be rough or smooth or shiny or dull, or it could be a finish that's like a foliage. So it could be rough, it could have a different texture, and that's what I've created within this design itself. So I chose to use an elevated bowl, a crystal bowl actually, and I like a pedestal bowl on a table because if you're going to use a flowing foliage, it gives an opportunity to elevate the arrangement off the table so that the foliage can cascade down towards the table. And if you observe the way this design's made, the foliage actually touches the table. So it doesn't become flowers on a table, it is flowers with the table, and it becomes one element. And I think that that's an important part that you think about as a floral designer when you're creating something to become part of the tablescape. So my original inspiration for this was the fact that we were going to use this china, this table linen. I'm loving this linen. And you see it in person, it has just the slightest touch in that stripe on the side of, it could almost pull a lavender or a silver. So it's multi-purpose. You could use this for many occasions. This table linen would be a gorgeous piece to have for your home that you could do many different looks with. I love the fact that we're using just simple white and then the eucalyptus. And eucalyptus is such a popular foliage right now in many different varieties. So I chose to use 3 different types of eucalyptus in here. I have the Serax eucalyptus, which is actually a new spin on the old baby blue spiral. But this has a little bit more relaxed element. It flows prettier. And then I have the seeded eucalyptus, which is this guy right here. Has this sort of an oblong shaped wider leaf. And then feather eucalyptus, and that's this one here, which is soft and small. So I have 3 different types of foliage. Even though it's all eucalyptus, it does create a textural change within. So working on our circular shape, which the leaves have the circular pattern, then I wanted to do a flower which also would be round in shape. So I chose to use a mass flower, which a mass flower is simply a flower that has multi-petals coming from a concentric circle in the middle. So like a rose or a carnation or a peony, anything like that would be good. And here I chose to use some pretty open white roses, and I just have them tucked in so that they're creating this beautiful depth that wants to draw you into the arrangement. and then exploding from it, much the same as the Eucalyptus is. I added some pretty double white Lysianthus, and so it's just layer upon layer of white and pretty soft sagey green with the Eucalyptus juxtaposing this beautiful dark blue tablecloth.
And I think
it's simplicity.
I think that's great, because I also think when you really take in the whole elements of this table, you see how the geometry kind of plays with each other. You know, the circles, the slight S shape, that sensuous shape. Everything here has sort of a sensuality about it. So to enjoy a wonderful evening,
Yes.
stop by and see Designer Studio.
And stop by Daniel Von Designs, Mistake College. Thank you.